there. I mean, the decision was made because there was an economic decision to make. And everyone that suggests the fight itself was a farce.
Yeah.
With all due respect to the wonderful card and what the Saudis put on, that fight was a farce in terms of the Bakole being able to be fit for purpose. Mm-hmm. But most people that were in Bakole's position, that were offered the kind of dough that he was offered, with potentially some assurances that the May 2nd fight wasn't going to be lost either, would have taken this fight.
100%.
And, probably the biggest suffer he's got is from DVT. Deep vein thrombosis, flying so much, That's probably the biggest challenge he's got. But it's unfortunate.
This was a fighter that nobody wanted because of the danger that he brings.
You can't put. Joseph Parker has been preparing for arguably the most dangerous heavyweight around right now. Mm-hmm. Daniel Dubois. He's fit. He's ready to go. Joseph Parker. Martin Bakole hasn't had a punch thrown at him since August.
No,
but has he ruined his reputation now?
No, not really.
Yeah, but, I mean, look, he's completely out of shape.
His reputation. Mark's got a point. His reputation must have taken a hit, Simon.
Well, he'll go in the ring in May, knock out this fella, and back we go again.
Yeah.
And he's got paid X amount of millions of dollars for doing it.
Yeah.
Most people would have done it.
And there is the response from Talk Sports Boxing News that Martin Bakole versus Joseph Parker was a farce due to the fact that Martin Bakole got off the couch and Joseph Parker has been training 3 months plus. And does it affect Martin Bakole's credibility or reputation? Okay, well, for one, tomorrow's live stream at 10 a.m. will explain a lot about Martin Bakole. Was the fight a farce? Looking back at it, yes and then no. Okay, well, I think it was more so something that we were hoping for, but we didn't receive. Okay, the reality set in when the first punch was actually landed from Parker to Bakole. Okay, then we learned okay, well, yeah, maybe this wasn't a good idea because the conditioning alone was not there for Bakole to even take a punch from someone that was conditioned. Okay. I believe the other part was manipulation, corruption, under table shadiness, from Team Bakole. I think Bakole's team wanted money from Bakole, and they wanted him as an instrument for that money. They didn't care what type of shape he was in, and they were eager and willing to lie about the shape he was in. They would have been better off saying hey, he's not really in shape, but he'll take the fight, instead of expecting people of a in shape Bakole, and then when he didn't deliver, you know what I'm saying? Everyone looked at him crazy. But if you would have told people the truth, hey, well, he's not really in shape, and he really hasn't been doing anything. He's been in the Congo working on this shopping mall that he's been building for a while now. And we're here to get the money, and it won't affect us in any kind of way. But that was the truth. But then here's the thing. It did affect him in a lot of ways. Okay, because again, I can't see the IBF updated record or rankings. Okay, so until I see that, I'm not going to really give it too much slack. But I heard Martin Bakole say yesterday that he went from 3 to 15. So he's out of the top 10 for the IBF. So maybe he can see something I don't, being a fighter. I'll probably ask other boxers if they can see that or whatnot. I think that's the best thing to do. But I think that's going to be the next live stream discussion. How much credibility did Martin Bakole lose for taking that fight? And I think, once you start being dishonest about certain things, it's like you start lying about something. What else are we going to believe? Why believe you in other things, in other ways? See, Martin Bakole, you couldn't help but to look at him and say, well, what the hell has he been doing? He just looks like a fat kid that's just been in the frozen food section too long. You know what I mean? He didn't look like anybody that trained hard or was any kind of shape or was training for a fight or whatever. And he told us that, of course, after the fight, which I think transparency is better for everyone. If he would have just said, well, I'm not ready for the fight, but I'm doing it for you, His Excellency. And I'm definitely going to be, I'm going to make an effort to knock out Joseph Parker because I've also sparred him and I know certain things that he doesn't like, and I think I can get him out of there. And to be fair, if the guy didn't have a gun and he was the only one with a gun, he would have had some fun. But it's never fun when the rabbit got the gun. Okay? So that's the thing. When Joseph Parker punched back, it didn't feel too good. Okay. And I'm going to talk a lot about that in the live stream tomorrow, where that should have been avoided, knowing what you can't do and what you can do. You know what I mean? But his credibility, I think Bakole's credibility, is understanding that, hey, I shouldn't have taken that fight or any fight not prepared for that fight. I think that's just a professional way, because we still have people out here like Frank Warren and other people, along with casuals that think, oh, well, Martin Bakole is just a hype job. And he was a hype job because he fought Jared Anderson, and Jared Anderson, because he's American, might keep in mind, he's no good. Okay, so a lot of people are trying to stir that narrative like a pot of shitty ass beans, and it smells terrible. Okay. But Martin Bakole, I think he will. I think he will come back stronger. He needs to focus on his next fight. I will check on the rankings to see if he actually lost the ranked fight. Because if Efe Ajagba is just another fight, it's just another fight. You know what I mean? It doesn't really mean anything. You can throw money at someone, but if they're trying to be the heavyweight champion of the world, or they have goals other than money, you're not really helping much. Okay, so, that's like, so the turkey promise doesn't mean shit if he's not promising him, what he once had for coming over and coming in the same day and fighting and all that. That was actually a farce. But in closing, I will say this. It was Martin Bakole's decision to do exactly that. It was Martin Bakole's decision to make that flight, to take that fight, to make that money. Okay, so, at the end of the day, he could have always said no. But you guys tell me what you think of Simon Jordan and company stating that the Bakole versus Parker fight was a complete farce. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!